Yes guys, welcome back to another video. Welcome to the George Benson football channel for episode 2 of Rebuilding Chelsea. And what a perfect day for the series yesterday was. We talked about the ownership. We talked about making sure we get the decisions right. And in the midst of all of that, Chelsea Football Club, the managerial merry-go-round, the circus that is Chelsea trying to appoint the right guy, it just gets crazier and crazier. Today we're going to talk about the news regarding Nagelsmann ruling himself out of the reckoning. We're going to talk about Pochettino and Vincent Kompany being the favourites. We're going to speak about what I think could be one of the only possible ways for Chelsea to make good out of this situation. Because let's be honest, the two best managers that were available to us, realistically, are gone. They have both ruled themselves out of being the next Chelsea manager. What does this scream to you? There is a discord here between elite level football coaches, the project, and the people that are A, conducting these interviews, and B, the people that these potential managers need to be working with before we decide again, oh, you know what? Something stinks around here. That's it. Don't worry. Todd Boehly will fire that manager because what? He owns the football club. And after what we witnessed yesterday with all the news, it feels as though we're going deeper. Deeper. And when we're talking about rebuilding, we've got to dig deeper foundations every day that goes by right now. So as this series progresses, I'm going to try and record each episode on the day, just in case anything else crazy happens. But Chelsea need a massive rebuild. And what I need to talk about today is, first of all, the managers that have ruled themselves out. Because yesterday, it was breaking news that Julian Nagelsmann is no longer not only the favourite, but in the reckoning to be Chelsea manager. So when Julian Nagelsmann comes out and makes comments like, to cancel something, you have to commit to something. This, to me, screams that Nagelsmann wasn't selling himself in these conversations with Chelsea. Chelsea were trying to sell the project and becoming the next manager to Nagelsmann, but Nagelsmann never committed to this. So was it the same as Chelsea trying to sell the project to Enzo, sell the project to Nkunku? And that's worked so far. We've managed to sign those players. But when it comes to signing the manager, maybe it's not really the sale of the manager. And let's be honest, top managers might not want to be the next manager at Chelsea Football Club. It has been seen as a poisoned chalice job, not just since Todd Boehly took over, but back in the Roman era. Even all of the best managers in the world have somehow come to Chelsea and not ended up at Chelsea. Jose Mourinho, twice. Carlo Ancelotti, fired in the tunnel at Goodison Park. Antonio Conte, gone. Mauricio Sarri, whether you think he was a great manager or not, gone. And the list could go on. Chelsea Football Club has always been seen as a job that is nice because you're going to have backing behind it. Someone's going to spend money on a team for you. But the moment things go south, you're out. You are out of the door. And as much as Boehly wanted to make sure that it wasn't like that anymore, he's done it twice in one season. And now Frank Lampard is back. Like, it's Chelsea and managers, okay? We're at that point where we've just got to be like, okay, whoo, breathe, ladies and gentlemen, breathe. So Julian Nagelsmann felt there were fundamental structural, recruitment and process decisions at Chelsea that wouldn't best serve his management. Club's position is he wasn't the favourite for the job and there were mixed feelings on him. Well, that's funny. We've been led to believe that he was the favourite. He was the front runner this whole time. Chelsea were desperate to get Julian Nagelsmann. What should we believe now, you know? Chelsea, they sell headlines and stories, okay? That's what we need to remember when we read anything from any journalist out there at the moment. So, with Nagelsmann being ruled out, we heard that Luis Enrique was ruled out earlier this week. Yesterday, amidst all of this, there is now two new names as the front runners. Mauricio Pochettino, who's kind of been like chugging along a little bit. We've heard his name mentioned as kind of like an outsider in the race, and then Grand National style, the two big favourites, they fall, and anyone can win a race like this. Trust me, this is Chelsea Football Club. Make sure you subscribe to GBFC and hit the like button if you enjoyed this video. Pochettino is now the favourite and is in pole position to take over at Chelsea. We thought that with Nagelsmann, so maybe this means nothing. But with Pochettino, I've got to say it. I've said from the beginning of this month when Graham Potter was fired, I didn't want Pochettino to be hired. I'm trying to make my rhymes here to keep this entertaining for you lot. I didn't want Pochettino for many different reasons. And the two main ones, one of them is very surface, and that is that he was a Tottenham manager, didn't win them anything there, did get them to a Champions League final, but lost it. Goes to PSG, has one of the best squads in Europe, but yet still can't win there. And my biggest issue with Pochettino is, I don't think Mauricio Pochettino has the ability to turn around as someone who knows a lot about football. I'm not going to lie. As much as I don't want him to be the manager, he's got a good footballing brain, a very solid footballing mind. Does he have what it takes to turn around to the owners if he doesn't like something, knowing that he knows better in a footballing sense, and say no? I don't think Pochettino has that capacity. And what does that make him? Unfortunately, that makes him, in my view, this very tentative term, a yes man. And I think the issue with a yes man is that seems like it could be the right man for the owners, but I don't think it is the right man when you look at the structural changes that Chelsea have made, employing some very high-level footballing brains. Do we need yes men now? Is it important that we take a yes man? I do not see how anybody benefits from it. And I think in the meantime, when we're dealing with egos and personalities on a surface level, it's good for the owners if they've got someone who's willing to go along with any kind of deviations from the path that they wish to see. If all of a sudden, as much as we want to keep investing in the squad, we want to keep being able to see Chelsea at the top, but sorry guys, we're going to have no money for the next 4 transfer windows. We don't want that. We don't need that. Just don't buy this player or that player in the first flipping place. You know, it shouldn't be, who does Todd Bowley want? Is Joao Felix capable of a couple of nutmegs a game, and that's entertaining and gets you a little bit riveted off your seat, so we should spend 80 million euros on him? No! And I don't want a manager to be at Chelsea who is willing to accept that. And it's actually why, in a way, I loved Nagelsmann as a potential manager, because he was kind of a yes man, but with a bit more savvy behind the reasoning behind it, okay? So what Nagelsmann believes is, if a club want to sign a player, then it's his job as a manager to get the best out of that player, because probably he will last less time in the job than the player will last at the club. I've never heard a manager come out and say something like that before, which is actually, when you think about it, it's true. And it goes along with something that Mourinho would say, where Jose Mourinho would say, you know, it's no excuse. If you're a top-level player, but, you know, you don't quite fit the system, no. A good coach will get the best out of players, even if that player doesn't necessarily fit specifically into how they would want to be seen within the system. With Pochettino, I do think there would be elements of the game that Chelsea would be really, really good to watch. I think we would be able to kill teams off. I think we would be able to score a lot of goals. But at the same time, I have struggled to ever believe in Mauricio Pochettino as a manager against other big clubs, which, when you have got juggernauts like Man City, Liverpool have been away, but if they signed 3 central midfielders, they're right back up there competing with City again. Man United under Eric Ten Hag, bit of a laughing stock this week, but they're heading in a better direction than we have been. Arsenal, fumbling at the moment, but still significantly way above where Chelsea are at. Is Pochettino a level, tactically, to be able to compete with these managers? I don't think he is. I really don't. And as much as now we're in a position where I do think Pochettino might be one of the best of the rest, because the 2 main candidates are no longer in the running, how have Chelsea managed to narrow down our managerial search by taking or not having the chance of signing 2 of the best ones on the flipping list? Vincent Kompany is the next manager that we need to speak about here. Vincent Kompany has done a phenomenal job at Burnley this season. They are on the cusp, probably today, to win the championship. He has totally changed the identity of what Burnley were known for. Burnley in the Premier League, I was happy they went down. It was boring watching Burnley with their direct football and just trying to outmuscle and bully everybody. It was boring, horrible. Vincent Kompany in 1 year has made them the most attractive team to watch in the Championship, totally flipped what was about a 10 or a 15 year DNA identity of Burnley. And from what we hear about Vincent Kompany, phenomenal manager. Manages players in the dressing room, manages egos, manages voices, and as well as that, in such a short space of time, has managed to turn this club that got relegated, which is hard to get relegated from the Championship and definitely always bounce straight back up. Some teams do it, some don't. But in the process of doing that, he's changed the fortunes of everything at Burnley. But to think he can do it at Chelsea is pure lunacy. Vincent Kompany, in 10 years, we might be looking at one of the best managers in the world based on the early stages of what we've seen. We could be looking at that kind of scenario. But now, no. Graham Potter is a more advanced manager at this point in time than Vincent Kompany. Graham Potter didn't work in the most alarming way possible. He's the worst manager in Chelsea's history. Facts. So to think Vincent Kompany is ready for this job is mad. For Vincent Kompany as well, this would be a dreadful job to take. It really, really would be, because it might work, but then anyone that we talk about in this video today, talking about rebuilding Chelsea and a new manager, all of them might work. Every single one. Pochettino might be the best manager Chelsea have ever had. Jose Mourinho 3.0 could well be the way that we're seeing Jose, well, just continuing to be a top manager. Could work. Ancelotti would work. There's a lot of managers that would work, but for Vincent Kompany, the risk, when at this point in his career, he's only been excellent, he's only doing a really good job, but it's at Burnley. This is Chelsea. It is so different. It is such a different kettle of fish. It is a massive, massive job where, yes, it's hard to get out of the Championship, but to manage dealing with these new owners who are still trying to figure out where they're headed, sending the club, to deal with a massive squad like this, even if we get rid of 8 or 9 of them, it's still a big squad. We've still got at least 4 members joining next season. We've got Nkunku, we've got Gusto, we've got Colwell, led to believe Maatsen as well. That's 4 to add on. And at the moment we're hearing, we might sell 8 or 9 players. We need to sell more. As this series goes on, I'm telling you, I will sell, I think, when I do the maths, when I look at it, I think I'm selling more than half this team. If I'm being honest. And that is for FFP reasons. Whoever the new manager is coming in reasons. Half of them are absolute dross that don't belong at Chelsea Football Club at this point in time. So who do I think the new manager should be? I want it to be Mourinho. There you go, I said it. It took me 13 minutes of the video, but Pochettino, right? Jose Mourinho is a serial winner. Chelsea are at a point where even one of our best ever players is looking at us saying, I don't recognise you. And I'm telling you now, if Mauricio Pochettino takes over and doesn't immediately turn the fortunes of our club around, it is going to become the most toxic place on earth. We might as well jump into a volcano than go and sit in Stamford Bridge. If Pochettino comes in and it goes south even more than it already has, it's about to get so nasty. It's about to be horrible. If Kompany comes in and fails, we are a joke. Because we hire a manager who does well in the Championship and thinks it will work in the Premier League at Chelsea. Joke. Enrique, gone. Nagelsmann, gone. Gallardo, never played European football before. Who is he? All right, fair enough. It's a good enough reason. Jose Mourinho, getting Roma to another European semi-final. Not doing bad in Serie A either. I'm telling you now, the manager's not done. He's not finished. I would love to see Jose back. And I think at this point, maybe Jose back for 2 or 3 years. Let's stop thinking that we have to get a legacy dynasty manager as the next one. Why does it have to be this way? Why do we have to just go straight in now for the 10-year manager? This is what I don't understand. We tried that with Potter and it didn't work. So bring in someone who, okay, not the best track record of promoting youth, which is a big thing the owners want, and as fans I think we want that too. But he's a serial winner. Jose Mourinho is a serial winner. Whether you think what he did at Spurs and Man United was a failure or not, he is still a serial winner. It is. It's just the truth. You cannot deny that CV. And he absolutely loves Chelsea Football Club. Whether he went to Spurs and Man United or not. That's just the truth. We know it. We all deep down know Mourinho loves this club. I know I might have lost a few people when I said Mourinho, but Pochettino, let's also put it this way. If Pochettino was to take over, if Vincent Kompany was to take over, I will back them. I will support them because I support Chelsea over any of my ego saying I don't want this or that manager. That's never going to change. That's a fundamental fact. I will support this club until the day I die or the day we don't exist anymore. Simple as that. But rebuilding Chelsea right now with the managers that have already ruled themselves out, we're leaving ourselves with a lot of mediocrity, in my opinion. And that is a big worry. So tomorrow, we are going to start going into this squad. We are going to start getting rid of players, calling up new options who could absolutely improve Chelsea Football Club. Who is that new manager going to be? Let me know in the comments down below. Are you sold by Pochettino? 4-3-3. Could we see Harry Kane come in as well as the striker? Now that would change things for me dramatically in terms of my backing. But still, I think Nagelsmann was better. I think Enrique was better. What are we left with? Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Hit the like button if you did enjoy this video. We're a mess. Come on, you Blues.